Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Gamedec Blind. I am still investigating in Harvest Time, and I have quite a lot of things already on my plate, but I want to talk to everyone first and then I'll make the deductions. The women were involved in a lively conversation and didn't grace me with a glance. I stood aside and listened. Do you honestly think it was here? The ledge it grew on collapsed, and that's why there's no trace of it. The cosmic tree, Axis Mundi, the tree of good and evil, the tree of knowing. This symbol is present in every culture, the Vikings, Australian tribes, Christian, and it's everywhere. According to these beliefs, there's a spot where time stops and the tree's axis around the trunk. It allows you to connect with the past and the future. For the Australian Arente people, the cosmic axis was a pillar. It transformed space into a world and an organized reality. And they are talking about that tree that the two women from the clan are interested in. I'm sorry, could I... The women kept talking without paying attention to me. To be honest, it's very rude to barge in on someone's conversation, so I'll just leave them to it.
Please don't interrupt their work.
Howdy, Gamedec. So I've heard you're working for the sheriff. Good call. The law has to be respected. Okay, so the fact that obviously I've received a lot of clues about how the sheriff is cheating, how he and Leanne are working for the same company in Realium, but supposedly don't know about each other being, they don't recognize each other in game. And the fact that this guy respects the sheriff is like the final nail in the coffin of the fact that I shouldn't trust the sheriff. I understand that you're just chasing an outlaw and you would like to question my people. That's problematic. You would take too much of their time. I don't know if the sheriff has mentioned this, but the outlaw is Camelia's new character. She should be working here on the farm. Well, good luck and good day to you. Well, I have a couple of loot boxes to open.
Yeehaw! You're attempting to interact with an inactive player.
We've got a tin bathtub. If you want, cowboy, you can take a bath and we'll have a witch. What? Have a witch will have a cowboy in a bathtub? I don't understand that. Come back when you get more chests. Yeah, you hate me because I accidentally questioned you about your parents.
Don't be shy. Stay on my field.
How much for this? Guy, do you still have that ticket you dug out in front of me? I would like to buy it from you. Listen, I know you came here to help us, but I can't sell you this ticket. I'll just give it to you there. He handed me a piece of paper that shone with gold. You helped me sell my spoils, and you brought me so much luck that it would be unfair not to give it to you, wouldn't it? And you were supposed to help us. Well, I did, didn't I? The man was stooped over some plants like Rodin's The Thinker, and like the sculpture, he was motionless. Once again, I looked at the accelerated pumpkin growth. The deck still wasn't able to show what it looked like for him. Perhaps I assumed that if I showed that from Jack's point of view, the pumpkin growth was normal, then I wouldn't get it. The acceleration was only visible when there was another player around, and Jack could see how slowly they were moving. Okay, I still need to get into the guild house, so let's take a look at this. Okay, before I make any concrete choices, I guess let me explore the guild house. I opened several not-so-legal apps and gained access to the authorization list. I checked the list of available guilds and added my name to the roster of Rusty Ed's guild.
Oh, it's you.
Leanne was absorbed in a book. At least she seemed to be. Slowly looked up at me. I will take the job because there's a lot about the sheriff that doesn't add up. I changed my mind. I'll take the job. Excellent. I want you to vet the sheriff for me and find out what he does in Realium. I hope everything's clear. What do you do in harvest time? What haven't I been doing? I used to run a prosperous farm. I was on the top of the leaderboards. She burst out laughing. Now I am mostly here for the people. The community is one of a kind. Sadly, you can't trust everyone, which is why I asked you for help. Do you know anything about the sheriff? I heard that he's very respected. Everyone speaks very highly of him. What's your opinion? Well, to be honest, at this point I definitely don't trust him. My instincts tell me not to trust him. Right? I felt so myself. I'm glad I met you. Have you heard anything about a player called the Outlaw? The girl upstairs? I don't know her. I think she's new. She's strange. She just sits there and reads books. Have you seen her talk to anyone? No, nobody came to see her. She's alone.
Hello again.
Can I talk to her? Stay away. Upon seeing me, the girl tossed her book aside and made a few hesitant steps towards the exit. She was frightened. Stay away, get lost. I stopped. I didn't want to exacerbate the situation. She gave me an appraising look. The sheriff sent you, right? Well, technically yes. Yes, I did a job for him. The girl struggled to look menacing. I knew it. You should leave before I get mad. Trust me, I'm here to help you. No, I don't believe you. Be smart and trust me. I am a doctor. I help people every day, and I want to help you too. Oh, a doctor? Last time I saw a doctor, he was cutting my umbilical cord. The girl laughed. I convinced her to listen to me. Now I had to get her to trust me. Listen. You know that you're no match for the sheriff alone, right? She nodded in agreement. I saw how you walk and the movement you made to throw the book. Neurological issues, sensory processing disorder? I can help with that. I truly want to believe you. I know life is not so easy for you and your friends. That is why I don't intend to keep you from pursuing your dreams. I want to help. So, what do you want in return? You would be the first person in my life who wanted to help me for free. The girl looked at me like a dog that used to be beaten, but decided to trust their new owner anyway. Can you tell me something about yourself? Not much to tell, although I did recently give my supervisors the slip. I'm just sorry I didn't get to see that asshole Axe face. My dream is to visit all the in-game locations. There's a snag. I can't leave without a ticket for the Midnight Express. It arrives this evening. Who are you working with? Actually, no one. I'm alone, all alone. Really? You don't have any partners? I don't, I swear. Tell me, what do you know about the sheriff? He's a cunt for one. He has a pair of goons too. Ack, usually watching us at the farm, and Mad Dog, usually watching the sheriff's ass. I can get you a ticket for the Midnight Express. What do you think of that? What do I think? That's all I ever dreamed of. Do it, please. Here, a ticket for the Midnight Express, it's yours. You weren't lying. You did it. I'm so glad. Thank you. Well, to be honest, I shouldn't have done that. At least not yet, before I made all of the deductions. It's pretty late. I just wanted to play a little bit longer because this game is stupid and it doesn't let me save whenever I want. And I didn't feel like repeating like 2 hours of it. So I want to get until a save point, basically. But I shouldn't have done that. At least not yet. Because she's going to leave now, but oh well. I'm definitely sure the sheriff is not to be trusted, which conversely makes his enemies possibly my friends, so... the sheriff could stage an ambush. I'll help you get to the station. Alright, let's meet there at sundown. I'll see you at sundown. Okay, I'll tell you about the sheriff, I guess.
I wish to speak with you, Gamedec.
I do trust the sheriff the least at this point, so... About the sheriff... He works for Nanette's foundation under the pseudonym Mr. Lepsky. He runs Nanette's Gardens, an activation program for poor kids. The woman's eyes and mouth went wide. For a while, she seemed to have trouble catching her breath. But how? I am Nanette. I'm the head of the foundation. I had no idea that Mr. Lepsky was the sheriff. He never said a word. What do you know about the Orange folk? Nothing, except that they work on public farms and everyone thinks they're weirdos. But how is that connected to this case? Oh, I understand. Mr. Lepsky is the sheriff, then these people might be the kids. from Nanette's gardens. Oh my god. Thank you for your help. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'll be going back to the Foundation. Tell me everything you know about Mr. Lepsky. I never saw him in person. We met in the game. He offered to help me with Nanette's gardens, and we struck a deal through Viper. The program was a burden on our budget. Mr. Lepsky came up with an idea to auction items from loot boxes that spawn when you grow pumpkins. I actually can't say a bad word about him. He made the gardens self-sufficient. The kids from the program have decent equipment, supplements, supervisors, although I have to say, I'm not so sure about anything anymore. And thank you for your help. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'll be going back. Tell me the truth, what do you really do in harvest time? Nothing wrong. I'm looking for a sponsor that could support my foundation. I need money. You see, I'm running a children's cancer hospital. About the sheriff, he seemed rich. That's why he caught my attention. Thank you for your help. I'll be going back to the foundation now. Goodbye. I will go back to the graveyard, I guess.
Enjoying the game?
I can't do that. So maybe I have to make some deductions. Okay, so the sheriff... That's stupid. The sheriff is both a cheater and the perpetrator, I'm pretty sure. Let's read what clues I have, I guess. The sheriff's reputation seems to be impeccable. Aked, the Orange Folk's supervisor, and the Mad Dog are sheriff's most trusted men, though the latter rarely logs in the game. The sheriff works as a manager for the Nanette Foundation under the pseudonym Mr. Lepsky. The sheriff is using a speed boost cheat. The sheriff has a great reputation among the residents of High Rock. He helps them with their problems. This character hasn't been in the game for long, but has already managed to reach a very high level. It's suspicious. The Outlaw is hiding in Rusty Ed's guild house. The Outlaw has been doing some shady business with a player of such horrible repute that they were banned in harvest time. She defied her supervisors from the Orange Folk farm to visit other locations in the world. The Outlaw is Camelia's new character. Until recently, Camelia played on the Orange Folk farm. She wants to leave High Rock. In Realium, Nanette, Liane is the head of the Nanette Foundation, is collecting intel on the sheriff, returned to the game after a prolonged absence. She's looking for a sponsor that will support a foundation for children. I don't understand how... Because, for example, she doesn't fit into any of those, in my view. Uh, like, okay, I do think the sheriff is the perpetrator out of them three, for sure. Because I have to decide on someone, right? Identify who's responsible on the for the orange folk problems. Out of those three, I would say it's the sheriff. I suspect that the sheriff is responsible for the problems of the orange folk. In situations like these, there's usually only one person pulling the strings, and that person is probably the local lawman. I think the main problem in the case is the sheriff. I do think that she's to a large degree a victim, because obviously they are all victims. She was originally one of them on the farm, and they are all being forced to do it, ostensibly. I suspect that the outlaw is the real victim here, a person that hides in a game instead of logging out and disappearing in Realium can't be guilty of anything. Well, I wouldn't be that adamant about the anything part, but... Can two of them be victims or whatever? I don't think she's a cheater. Out of those three, she would fall most into the victim category, although she herself does not seem to be a victim of anything in particular. But she's definitely not a well, definitely. She's most likely not a perpetrator of anything either, and I don't have any proof about her cheating. I suspect Leanne is the real victim here. She seems lost and is asking for help, and is open about needing money. That's not how a perpetrator acts.
Hi, meet Pretzel, my horsey.
Well, I seem to have locked myself into blaming the sheriff anyway. Which is mostly because I didn't think about...
Yeehaw! Is that my favorite rancher?
Looking for a good guild? We'll let you join. If you make the cut, find me sitting on a barrel close to the stands. Yeah, I kinda screwed this. Because I didn't know how to progress the time.
I have nothing against networking. It's good for business.
The man was standing still. A window with
What a
stock market
lovely day.
stock market news was hovering in front of him. He was level 1000, which is the max level in the game. There was little next to his name. There was a title next to his name, Doctor. When I greeted him, he looked at me, nodded, and went back to his diagrams. I noticed the doctor's title next to your name. Do you say serve as a local physician? Give me a break, I'm not
Wanna
a
see my
doctor.
phone?
I paid a
got the
small
premium
fortune for this.
decoration
I also have one in Realium, PhD. Wasn't cheap either. When players see my title, they flock like vultures to beg for my money, like that gal here, Leanne. Pretty
The
name,
weather's
that's why I
perfect,
remembered it.
just like every other day.
In places such as High Rock, a title is more of an inconvenience, but in more prestigious locations it commands respect. It so happens that I'm a doctor. Unlike me, I have a title and a diploma in Realium, but bought them both for a small fortune.
lovely day.
They come in handy in business. Since you're a doctor, you should go and talk to that Leanne girl. She's looking for sponsors for a children's charity or something. If you don't have money, at least give her some advice. I obviously support those kinds of initiatives, but only through tax relief. I'm curious, what do you do in Realium? Are you a journalist or something? I'm a Gamedec. I have a natural need to learn about people. I have nothing against networking, especially in Virtualia. It helps business. I'm a biz patron. I offer advice and assets to businessmen in exchange for shares. I work in harvest time. It's way nicer than
Have a nice
Viper.
day, farmer.
And way safer, though not many people know that. What do you do in High Rock? I thought it was a place for beginners.
Have a nice day, farmer.
Where I should be is Monumental Valley, a super premium location, in case you didn't know. I came here by accident, and I want to get out. I'm waiting for the Midnight Express. It's the only way to leave this place. They blocked the main road so the new players wouldn't get lost. They should add a paid teleportation to the game. I'll suggest it to the devs. I see that you follow the stock market. What's worth investing in? Don't ask. Every investor will say something different and will charge you for it. Traders flirt with disaster and crowd psychology. As far as my investments are concerned, it's no secret. Most of my portfolio consists of Blue Whale's interactive
I need
stocks.
to log out, but there is so much to do.
BWI's rates are on the rise for some time now, and I'm getting richer by the day. They released a new project under Director Haggis. They say that Haggis guy had some personal issues that could have gone sideways, but luckily it all worked out. It seems that investing in stocks is really like tossing a coin. You're quite wealthy. Could you share some of that wealth with me? You want money? Earn it. If you have a business idea, I'll hear you out and maybe even invest, but I don't give money for free. Everything I have, I gained through hard work. My inheritance or my alleged high social status didn't have anything to do with it. It pisses me off when people throw it in my face. It's all thanks to hard work. A magnificent fruit, aren't they?
Howdy, what can I get you?
They keep mooing. Do they want me to milk them? Whose cows were these anyway? They looked unclaimed, but the game had no stray animals. Their tails swung at the same place. Was that a glitch? Okay, I guess I have to blame the sheriff. Like, I have sort of locked myself into that. Like, I definitely think he's guilty of something, seeing how Aken respects him, which is a bad sign if you ask me.
It's good to see you.
Good morning. And goodbye.
Come, everything's for sale.
Wake up, buddy.
Player. Add me to your friends, partner.
I hate this fucking game.
Okay, so I guess I have to blame the sheriff. Let's do it then. Oh, I guess I could still blame the outlaw, but could still be somebody else. But I definitely think, even if he's not the main guy, I think he's definitely involved in this and responsible for at least some of their problems. It seems the sheriff is the one responsible for all the jazz. He's controlling, ingratiating, and suspiciously popular. There was a mysterious Gamedec waiting for me in the graveyard. I needed to pay him a visit. This was my third visit to the graveyard. I hoped the information on the mysterious Gamedec had for me would be worth it. It was the third time already. Is there anything else happening? People used to carve names and dates of birth and death in stone. Now we have holographic tombstones.
Welcome, Gamedec.
Do I need to perform a ritual or an exorcism to make you reveal yourself? Let me exit Guardian Angel mode. How do I do that? I think it's here.
Hello, I am Kenzu.
We met in Twisted and Perverted. I was conducting my first case there. Right, we've met. And remember you were chasing some crooks. Tell me more about your investigation, Ken. Did you manage to find the cheetahs that spoiled your game? Online, yes. But you know, Chief, it's not the same as catching someone in Realium. I tried to use a program, Investigator, but it's not so easy. I followed them around and tried to find where they live or drink. And so, step by step and program by program, deduction by deduction, I have become a Gamedec. Wise men that say that the only constant is change. Goodabouts is a cool game, but very demanding. A Gamedec's profession is less stressful. That's right, I just missed the money. What are you doing here anyway? Following the cheaters? Yes and no. Remember these chicks in TNP? Knight's Code members? I took notice because they were talking about the Tree of Knowing. They are here now and asking about it. It's important. I've met with the local sheriff too and I'm sure he cheats. And I hate cheaters. So I lay low, hidden, and started snooping around. Then you showed about, and I thought we might join forces. And what's the deal with the native skin? Why? It's just a Gamedec's arsenal. Hiding by using different gender, pretending to be someone else. I'm surprised you don't do it, Chief. The skin is one from Pumpkins and Ghosts events. It's invisible. It costs a lot. I coupled it with a Guardian Angel, but it didn't work. How exactly does it make work harder rather than easier? It's okay. It isn't... You know, it maybe leans a little bit into stereotypes, but at least it isn't like super revealing or whatever. Like, you know, with huge cleavage or like boobs hanging out. Like it's, you know... It's okay. But how does it... I don't understand this. Let's just move on, I guess. You said you had some information concerning my case. Yes, I think there's something fishy going on. The orange folk use a cheat that helps them get loot boxes. The sheriff, that Billy guy, uses a similar cheat to win duels. Have you got any proof? I overheard him talk about the cheat in a conversation with Ake. I don't have proof, but why would he talk about it for no reason? Yeah, I do agree, most likely, because they do. I've seen it work on the field, and they have that technology, so it makes sense. Sadly, I don't have any substantial evidence. I would like to get some. I think the sheriff controls the work done by the orange folk somehow. That Ake guy and Mad Dog are involved in it. It's some kind of a slavery, Chief. Yeah, I agree. What you're saying makes sense. I saw that you closed a deal with Billy, and now you're obliged to do a job for him, but maybe it's a good idea to get him in Realium, find out who he really is. Yeah, sure. The sheriff's made himself the Lord of High Rock, forgetting that he's in a game. The orange folks' problems are his doing. Somebody ought to shove that gold star down his throat. Yeah, we need to get him. Oh, fucking some. I got the investigator. That program tracks people down in Realium. You just need to get in physical contact with the avatar of the person you're looking for and hold them for a while. I know, I've tried. That's the problem. What kind of a problem? It's like a thin layer of digital air between your hand and another avatar. Maybe that's why it's easier to cheat with a speed boost here. I've searched the code, and it seems that the barrier caused the birds to vanish. I mean, they're there, but they can't be seen. It's the layer of air. I think there's a safeguard against the app. Whether it was done upon a player request or of their own accord, you can't just touch anyone here. So you can't run the investigator by touching someone. I thought it over, and I have an idea. Do tell. Can you just hook up the investigator to a bullet and then shoot someone? the bullet would get inside the avatar and stay there long enough. You're thinking like a Gamedec, Ken. That's exactly what I was thinking. He handed me his weapon. Here, you'll need it. I took a bullet from the gun's cylinder, opened the investigator window, and linked the program to the bullet and my avatar. Done. Damn, Chief, watching you work sure is something. Now we need to challenge the sheriff to a sunset duel and shoot that douche. It's getting dark, we should go. I'll assist you as an invisible protective spirit. You can thank me later. I assume I have no say in this. You'll follow me whether I want it or not. I'm involved in this as hell. I want to know how it ends. Maybe I can learn something. Maybe I can help. Just don't get under my feet. Great. Lead the way, Chief. I looked at Ken. He nodded. He was ready. Mr. Gamedec, quick! They're hanging Stanley. Lead the way. Follow me.
Hey, where do you think you're going, girl?
Ranchers, witness a triumph of law and order. There's no place for scammers or scoundrels in High Rock. Yes, it's just a game, but most players take this world seriously. It's home, a place of respite, meditation and honest work. And this person committed fraud, lots of fraud. The truth about him will soon see the light of day. We are ever closer to the truth. Mad Dog, Ake, you know what to do with him. We have to do something, Chief. Stanley's your client, isn't he? Well, to be honest, what would even happen if... It's not like it can literally kill him. Unless they have some kind of a weird cheat that would do that. But to be honest, that's stupid, because that's super illegal and they would kill him publicly. At this point, it's better to just kill his organic body in realium. Like... I challenge you to a duel. That's how you say it, right? The game system sent a message to the players. A duel was about to begin. I am unclear on the rules. Look, we've gotten ourselves a daredevil. I'll put a bullet in you with pleasure. No one has ever beaten me, and you won't either. The presence of the orange folk gave me comfort. I'm sure all of my predecessors had fired the first shot. That's why they lost. I needed the element of surprise. Ken was known to have good ideas. I nodded slightly in his direction. Ken approached the sheriff and waited for my signal. He was wearing an invisible skin, so the sheriff didn't see him. The sheriff adjusted his hat and widened his stance. I was breathing calmly. Everything was under control. I looked at his eyelids, fingers, knees. Yes, his knees were shaking, almost imperceptibly. He must have been using a crappy helmet. He noticed my glance and tightened his muscles. His knees stopped shaking. He had lost some of his confidence. You you said... Oh, in-game duels is a thing, apparently. Maybe I should at the very least read that. Where is that though? In-game duels. Because it's sort of implying here that I shouldn't just straight up shoot him. I'm sure all my predecessors had fired the first shot. That's why they lost. The sheriff was said to be the best gunman in High Rock. I couldn't allow myself to make any unnecessary movements. Looking me straight in the eye, the man slowly shifted his weight to his other leg. This shot could decide the success of the entire plan. I started feeling anxious. Using eye control, I pulled up a program from my deck that could give me an edge. It needed a minute to start running. I had to stall. Why his shadow? I focused on my opponent's shadow. It mimicked his silhouette, revealing elements not visible from my angle. I didn't notice anything special. Like a cat toying with his victim, he moved his hand closer to the holster. The stress intensified. I felt how hard my heart was beating. The lag program was still running in the background, slowly powering up. It only needed another moment. I moved my hand closer to the handle of the gun. The sheriff moved his mouth near his hand near his mouth, as if he was about to cough. I reacted. At the same time, the sheriff reached into his breast pocket, where he had a second revolver concealed. His speed was unnatural. He got me. As I fell, I fired a shot in his direction. The sheriff looked at the wound and logged out momentarily. I was hoping the investigator managed to get a read on his location. What a spectacle. Just a couple of particles.
The investigator is in. Let's go find the sheriff.
We'll find the sheriff even if he has logged out of the game. That was quite a tumble you took there, Mr. Gamedec. Thank you for saving my life, I mean my dignity. Yep, again, it wouldn't have killed him. I nodded and winked at Ken. It was a team effort. Let's see if the investigator attached to the bullet did its job. I looked at the report. The progress bar stopped at 100%. There was an address below it. It's one of the mushrooms, living quarters for the builders of Warsaw City. It's below the low city level. What a trip. He's probably getting up from his couch now. If he's figured out we've tracked him, he'll bolt. We've got to go. Want me to pick you up? Sure. Do I have transportation? Like, I assume he isn't suggesting it if it would be a lot slower. Yeah, I'll be waiting at the apartment. As you wish, partner. See you there. Mr. Gamedec, I still want to talk about something important. Sure, what's on your mind? The boy froze. He was standing motionless and staring vacantly into the distance. The orange folk started disappearing one by one. Kid? No, leave me alone. All members of the orange folk had left the game. I needed to do the same. I opened the logout window.
Howdy.
Leaving already? Don't you want to visit your farm before you go? It's probably the last time to see this place. Obviously no. I'm in a hurry. I've got more important things on my mind. I'm going back to reality. I'll be seeing you then. Come back around sometime. I clicked on the logout icon. It was time to visit the sheriff in his lair. I hadn't been so close to the Undercity in a long time. The smell of rotting plants, smoke from the bonfires made by the living in the ruins, the volatile smell of fumes from the machines clearing old Warsaw, all were trying to penetrate the veil of oblivion to bring back my childhood. Ken came back to pick me up in his new mobile. We went to the Mushroom, one of the places where police builders had lived over a century ago. On the way, Ken talked a mile a minute. He seemed excited like a fan during a game. We touched down near a parking lot by the door of the place indicated by the investigator.
This is the moment. Right, Chief?
We'll get the bad guys and kick their asses. I knew being a Gamedec would be more exciting than Goodabads. Fuck, I feel like a real detective. But you're the one with experience, Chief. Lead the way. We go in with guns blazing, right? Not with guns blazing, Ken. We don't know what's inside or how strong the door is. If it's reinforced, all we do is alert. You're right, cautiously, with some guns blazing. I go in, you cover me. Before I could answer, he threw himself against the door. He was strong. He hit it with so much force, he smashed the log to pieces. Get him. Okay, that's the Outlaw.
Please, don't come any closer.
You have found us. Amazing. It's awfully empty here. No one's using those couches or the beds for that matter. Where are the other children? Kid told everyone to log out. He was livid, and some of the kids hid and are waiting for it to pass. They'll come out when they are no longer afraid. Where's Sheriff Billy? We call him Kid. He's in the office upstairs. I saw him deleting some stuff from his computer. That means he hasn't escaped. Perfect. We'll enter his office, guns blazing. Who are you, by the way? My name's Camellia. In the game, I was known as the Outlaw. It's good that we managed to work things out. You've managed to get here. I feel silly about not believing in you. In Harvest Time, you were the only person who stood up to the sheriff. You tried to run. Not to guts, respect. I was terrified, but I wanted to see what was in Harvest Time outside of town. They show those amazing things in each update. And when Kid wouldn't let us, will I be allowed to see all of Harvest Time now? As far as I'm concerned, yes, because I do intend to free you all. Of course, you'll be able to sightsee to your heart's content, and you won't have to hide anymore. She smiled. I have to take care of some things. Please be careful with Kid, the sheriff. Don't trust him. What a Frankenstein job. These couches were welded together by some low-city whiz. No amount of money would have convinced me to use them. No one was using them at the moment. The sheriff had enough time to wake up all of the children. Everything was connected with the shared wiring. There was probably a single computer overseeing it all.
Hey, boss. That Gamedec is here.
Kids, take cover. We've got a bum invasion on our hands. The guy bit the top tip of his tongue. He was in the mood for a brawl. An electric knuckle duster flashed out of his clenched fist. Look, Doug. It's the Gamedec from Harvest Time I told you about. Kid was right, they did track him down. The fact you want. There are several wave-based tronic devices in this room. I can calibrate them to make your brains go haywire and make you kill each other. Or you'll suddenly feel the urge to jump down the shaft and paint a masterpiece with your guts. Okay, get back here. That asshole's bluffing. He'll stop as soon as I fuck him up. He had tremendous amounts of adrenaline. His lenses were operating in emergency mode. I used that to my advantage. Working in this mode, I couldn't exactly tell what I was doing. I was acting fast and kind of blind. It would leave scars on his psyche. He didn't say another word. He couldn't. As he was running past me, I could smell urine. Chief, that was amazing. You're my hero. I looked at the children. There were fear in their eyes and sparks of satisfaction. Come, let's find the sheriff. He was the only kid that didn't get scared. He seemed overly excited. Mr. Gamedec, wow. I never seen anything like that. Only games have those wham-bam animations. They had no chance, and they are strong and scary, but they were scared of you. You have to go up. He's upstairs. I'm Stanley, by the way. I mean Tom. I forgot to tell you. I was afraid, but you did fine. You can handle kids, too. You showed them. We knew there must be good. You must be good with all of the likes under your profile, and that you would find us. And then the guy ran like a hen at a harvest event. And yesterday we had no dinner and they laughed. Well, who's laughing now? Because the investigation had led you here. I knew it. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt him because I don't care. I want to interrupt him because I think I should go and stop the sheriff before he flees. Wait, I wanted to... He wouldn't listen, he was too excited. And I knew I didn't have to say anything, because you would figure it all out. I mean, you can tell who's bad and who's good here. They were dirty and hunched over, like any villain in a game. If someone looks like that, you know they're bad. I knew you would figure it out. I don't want to yell at a child who's being excited about me rescuing him. That was epic, like the raid event, but it only comes once a year in Harvest Time, because it's too epic to have it any more often. And then there are those wild horses stampeding to hide the raid. People say wild horses are an omen, but they neigh and stomp. An omen wouldn't neigh, right? Everyone knows omens don't neigh. I feel bad about there not being an option that says, I would really like to talk to you, but I need to stop the guy. Because I don't want to yell at a child who has been kept as a slave up until now. Stanley. Ken lost it. What? Where's the sheriff? Upstairs. I think he tried to run away from you. Let's be quick, shall we? The crates had Nanette Foundation logo on them. They were dirty and covered with dust. My hand stuck to the lid. I looked inside. Inside were cheap vitamins and supplements. They were all of questionable origin. Was this the only sustenance that these children could expect? That's the Gamedec. He's the one to save us. I don't know. It'll all be over soon. Sir, there's one more upstairs. He's upstairs. The crates had Nanette Foundation logo on them. They were stacked crookedly, and some of them had been dumped on the floor. I looked inside. Cheap game pills and infusion liquids. As far as I could tell, there was more Virtualia pharmacology here than food. I will go up because... What? Because I'm afraid he will flee if I dilly-dally too much. Ken stopped me when I was about to open the door. Chief, I know I may look like a total pro, but I never caught anyone, in Realium I mean, nor interrogated anyone. Any tips before we go in? First of all, the investigator let us here, but we don't know who's behind all of this. Let's get the guy who acts as the sheriff in the game, interrogate him, and find out what's going on. Stay by the door. If he runs, stop and overpower him, but only if he tries to run. Remember, we want to talk to him and not break his limbs. That's very smart, Chief. I'll try. I'll leave the talking to you. I will listen and learn. Hands up, motherfucker. Prepare for justice. He realized that was too much. Sorry, Chief, I got carried away.
Hey, you're out of luck, guys. The boss is gone.
He heard you coming and jump out the window. He told me to stay and clean up here. The Undercity was 100 meters below. He couldn't have jumped out of the mushroom window and survived, unless it was a suicide. It's just some kid. It's good that you're here. I'll go check on your friends. Yeah, headed for the exit. Stop bullshitting, I know you're the sheriff. A proud smile spread across his face. But I almost convinced you, right? I can even get one over a Gamedec. These kids are suffering. Doesn't your conscience bother you? Why? It all works after all, and it's making money. More than a good-for-nothing Gamedec. Anyone would do the same in my place if they could. Anyone. And the kids can do it. They need someone to decide things for them. He's proud of it. Of course, everything was going great until those punks called the Gamedec. I see that you believe everything is working perfectly here. How exactly does this thing work? Using slave labor? Well, are you going to take all of those kids home and take care of them? You and your little kind heart didn't give a fuck until somebody paid you. And they paid you because they are making money. Instead of doing drugs and roaming the walkways without supervision, they are here together, learning how to make money. I'm proud of that. Well, didn't it cross your mind that if they spend the money, the little... Because I assume it's pretty exploitative, it definitely seems so. If they spent the little money that you allowed them to keep while working them half to death on hiring someone who would get them out of the working them half to death part, then clearly they can't be enjoying it or thinking or being as grateful for it as you seem to think. Your kids are being forced into loot box farming. In the same way all employers force their staff, we teach them the value of work. If they want to stay, they need to earn their keep. No, all employers don't work you until you faint. Like, sure, some of them do in some places, but you know, in the developed world, it's pretty unheard of, and it's super illegal, and nobody would just accept it as a whenever that, because it still does happen. People, for example, Amazon, they have such what's the word? Demanding workflow goals for their warehouses and stuff that people do. It's literally hazardous to your health to do some of those jobs, but it isn't. Whenever things like that happen, it is quite a story usually, and nobody just accepts it as a fact of life. At least, I'm sure. I hope they don't. I don't think you should. And besides, those are kids. On top of that, it's called child abuse. They are street brats. Do you think they'll do what they are supposed to if you leave them unsupervised? We need to keep an eye on them. That's how we make money. We can feed them and give them access to the game. Everybody wins. One kid felt so bad here that she tried to run away. Okay, her plan was strange as she lay here all along, but that screams of desperation. That's right, you slave master. If they are so happy, then why they are running and hiding? Where are those kiddos anyway? Use your brain, you idiot. The kids can leave anytime they want. The door is open. You would notice that if you had used the handle. And where they are going to go, it's a mushroom. In order to get out, you would have to get down to the Undercity. Walk among the ruins to the nearest tower and climb to the low city using a ladder. It's a damn dangerous... Please, all they need to do is ask. I'll get them a cab and they are off to go. Yes, they ran away, but only inside harvest time. They don't want to leave the mushroom. They want to stay and keep playing. As long as they are here, they need to follow the rules. If I let them slack, they won't learn any discipline. And the program won't profit. Kids crowded together and working in dilapidated hovel below even the lowest of low cities levels. Are you really proud of this? They are brats from low city walkways. We feed them, give them a place to sleep, access to nature, fresh air. On a farm, no less. Yeah, fresh air, virtual fresh air. You force them to work, you son of a bitch. You're stealing their childhoods. We're going to kick your ass. Walkways are dirty and dangerous. Kids are starving. Are these the childhoods we're stealing from them, pal? Come the fuck on. We teach them to earn and sell their loot for one, to keep the place going, buy game pills for the Foundation. We're their only chance. That's enough for now. Chief, he's not showing any remorse. I feel it in my gut that he's not going to learn until we graciously beat the fuck out of him. This is not how we're supposed to serve justice. Well, I'm not about to beat a child to prove a point about how abusing children is wrong, because I think that would send mixed messages. One more thing, I wanted to ask about how this whole thing works. Ask away. Okay, I asked that already. Is this the part where I tell him my plan? Sure, to be honest, I don't think he's going anywhere. So maybe as I do that, maybe he'll add context. We've come here to solve your problem. The kid called us because they were miserable. And didn't they tell you they wanted to play more? Because they usually do. They have it better in harvest time than they would have on the streets. We all just want to make some money and escape poverty. These children are overusing pharmacological substances, stimulants, and you're turning them into junkies. What exactly do you think they've been doing on the walkways, huh? At least here, they only take game pills and some vitamins, not nasty stuff. Believe me, I would notice. They wouldn't be able to work. The kids complain about strange symptoms, pain, confusion, weakness. Do you think it's acceptable? Take a look inside the boxes. They are filled with supplements and all sort of medicine. They wouldn't be able to work if they were sick. You little shit. You're taking advantage of those kids and you can't even call for a doctor? Who is going to pay for that? The Foundation doesn't check on us or help us. No earnings, no doctor. That's why we discipline them. But of course, these fucking idiots took part of the money and hired a Gamedec. You've made the kids use a speed boost cheat. We all use it sometimes. Why do you think nobody can beat the sheriff in a duel? Anyway, the kids slack off, then use the cheat on themselves and their plans to catch up and make some money. We all got to make a living. What did you say? On themselves? But that can accelerate the aging process. Ken's face turned red. Chief, that can cause Alzheimer's syndrome, accelerated aging. The organism works at full power. It gets worn out. That's messed up. What's the alternative? Starving in Low City? Better to get a little old faster, but to get to actually live, to survive. Don't you get it? Alzheimer's syndrome can have irreversible effects in children, growth disorder, endocrine gland disorders. It could be disastrous for them. They can experience lifelong chronic pain. They can get older much faster, which will mean they will have shorter lives. Do you understand? At least they'll be happier. They will actually have something that's theirs. We don't force anyone to work for us. Low City does. Yeah, I have zero sympathy for this scheme because, to be honest, some people would say that even adult people in extreme circumstances are especially vulnerable to like economic coercion, where they would accept any kind of crappy and that happens all the time, you know. They would accept any kind of crappy work conditions, unsafe, hazardous to your health, mentally and physically exhausting, just because they don't have an alternative. But it's doubly so with children. Like, they have no right to do this, and any explanations or justifications they are trying to throw for it are pointless, and I don't buy them for a split second. I am going to call her, actually, because if she really doesn't know about this, then I think, even if she is like a ruthless businesswoman, I think I can spin it in a way where she would have to help them, because it would reflect badly on the company if she didn't. I took out my walktail, opened the command window, and dialed Nanette's number. Let's see what the head of the operation had to say about this. Hello there, Gamedec. Is this the moment you would like me to return the favor? I need some information. Tell me, Nanette. What is Nanette's Gardens exactly? What do you do? It's a type of play therapy that combines work and fun. We rehabilitate kids from Low City by teaching them collaboration and empathy. The harvest time is ideal for that. It's free, lets you work in the fresh air, experience nature, watch plants grow, even if only virtually. Who's responsible for supervising the Foundation? Well, I am obviously, but I entrusted Mr. Lepsky with Harvest Time division called Nanette's Gardens. He's a very capable manager. I'm currently working on our next project, a cancer hospital. Too many sick children, too few sponsors. I don't have time for other things. Lepsky promised to take care of the kids, and I thought he kept his word. The reports showed that the division is doing better and better. I talked to him today. He admitted to playing the sheriff to look after the kids the entire time, harvest time included. It seemed like a good idea to me. Where are the headquarters of the Nanette Gardens? I mean, in Realium, not in Harvest Time. I rented a modest place in Host Tower, right above Low City. I can't afford more, but it's clean, spacious, and even has some natural light. What about the financial aspect? Is the Foundation supposed to profit from that? Absolutely not. After all, we're financing a bigger part of the program ourselves. We donated couches, and we sent them Nutrifluid and game pills, and even cover part of their living expenses. We're a foundation, not a company. She seems to be outraged by my question, but I wasn't sure if her reaction was honest. Thank you. She had answers to everything, good answers, though I wasn't sure if they were honest. Further questioning seemed pointless. Listen, Nanette, I'm in the mushroom right now. It's one of those 100-year-old structures abandoned by the builders of the polis. I know what mushrooms are. Have you found anything interesting in there? The headquarters of Nanette's gardens. In a dump, a stinky, creepy slum. What? But how? I rented this nice place. The kids are being forced to grind for loot boxes constantly. Doesn't look good. I had no idea. This cannot go on. I'll take care of it right away. These children need care and attention. Just please don't inform the police. An official investigation could paralyze my foundation. I wouldn't be able to help those kids. Actually, can I talk with the kids about this? Because your official first gut reaction would be, of course I'm going to call the police. You're a private organization and I can't let you, just rule those kids' lives as you see fit. But the problem is, the police might very well partially or wholly be private as well at this point. It's a cyberpunk story. And, it doesn't necessarily mean... As I said, it's a cyberpunk story. You shouldn't trust authority of any kind. They are all probably fucked up and wrong. I'll think about it. You had plenty of time to take care of this. I don't know. I need to understand the situation better before I can make a decision. That's all. Thank you for telling me, Gamedec. I am once again asking you, please, let me fix my mistake and take care of these children. Oh, okay, I can't ask... Okay, I don't know what to do, to be honest. We've heard what the kid had to say. What do you think, Ken? I'm not sure, Chief. We've learned in harvest time it's the sheriff who's responsible for the kid's problems. And the sheriff is the punk right here. He's not even trying to hide it. We need to separate the kids from him. Regardless of whatever the fuck you think, you don't have a choice. If you call the police, the kids will end up in juvie or in walkways. I would say the latter. You're going to leave them alone in Low City? That would be much worse off than here. Unless you want to take them in and raise them. No? Well, fine. I know how to take care of them. Oh, I could take control of it myself. Like, my initial gut feeling is to call the police. Obviously. But this isn't, you know, the real world. And like, she seems kinda genuine, I think, because she, like, if she knew about this, why would she had hired me to, like, if she knew about this all, she would have known the kid is the sheriff and all that, because he wouldn't, if he had her blessing, he wouldn't have to hide. So maybe she will make it better, if not for any other reason than because, as I said, this reflects pretty badly on her company, or rather her charity, foundation, or whatever. Because I'm worried about the switcheroo where the police is actually worse than the corporation. Because the police itself might be a corporation at this point, as I said. I would prefer to talk to the kids before I make this decision, but I guess I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll call the foundation. I'm sure Nanette will take care of the children, if she gives them her attention, that is. Right. They'll be taken care of. I was starting to feel like a hero, but then I realized I don't know anything about kids. Good call. Alright, Chief. I'll sense them and they'll take care of everything. Ken opened a private window and chose a number. His lips started to move, but I couldn't hear anything. The kid headed for the exit. Where do you think you're going, punk? You're the one responsible for this whole mess. So what? I'm a minor. You wouldn't do anything to a minor, would you? How about we fuck him up, Chief? Introduce him to the holy punching hand of justice. I'm itching to beat the crap out of him. No. Beating up children, as I said. Beating up children to prove how abusing children is wrong seems like confusing messaging to me. I could definitely turn you over to the police, to be honest. Because what does trap him in a speed boost even mean? Like, is it forever? A Gamedec is neither a police officer nor a judge, Ken. I was hired by the children. This kid is a criminal. The police should take care of him. Fuck. You know how effective I am, and you still want to turn me in? You're an idiot. I could be useful to you. Alright, Chief, I'm calling the police. Don't worry, they'll take good care of you like you did of those children. And the kids would be taken care of by the Foundation. Don't you feel stupid? You moron, I could be useful to you, I could... Alright, cops notified. I can watch him if you would like to take a look around the office, Chief. Then we'll lock him here and leave. The kid's pale. His eyes are darting, as if he were an animal trapped in a cage he had probably never imagined he could lose. The crates in the office appeared to be the same as the ones downstairs. Most of them weren't opened. On some of them I could see shipping details. I scanned the chips on several random crates. It was charity. The Nanette Foundations donated them to Nanette Gardens free of charge. Judging from the dates, it was a common practice. They were always collected by Mr. Lepsky. There was an ancient computer on the desk. I wondered what the computer had on. There was nothing on it, not even an operating system. The kid deleted everything. I wonder if I could have gotten here quicker if I... Will it be fine from now on? Won't we get logged out anymore? Can we still play together? Are they going to kick us out of here? They aren't, right? So, what will happen to us now? Who's going to take care of us? You won't leave us alone, will you? Nanette will take care of you. Remember her? The kids started talking over one another, cries of joy mingled with words of astonishment. But can we stay together here? Can we see other games and not get locked out anymore? What if they separate us and ban us from playing? Kid always told us what to do. Who will tell us now? The Foundation's objective is to help you. I'm sure you will stay together and in a nicer place too. And you'll have more fun. Fun? Can we just play for fun? And can we keep some basic loot for ourselves once in a while? You can keep all the loot, in Harvest Time and in other games too. And the boy's face brightened. That's so cool. Thank you, Mr. Gamedec. Very cool indeed. We did quite well. We should wait for somebody to take over from here, and then we need to talk. Let's celebrate our success, analyze our mistakes, and discuss what to do next. A war meeting at your place, Chief, at 8 o'clock sharp.
It's good to see you.
Good evening, you two. Welcome home. The time is perfect, temperature normal. Ken, meet Bliss. She's my majordomo.
It's good to finally meet you in real life.
She's cool, Chief. Hi there, Translucent. Ken Zhu, a good-a-bad player, and one of the few players in the world who can play for 15 seconds at the 19th level of pain. He's been the most efficient attacker for the last 2 seasons. Ken looked at me content. She knows everything about me. Intellectual personality? Great choice, Chief. Would you like something to drink? Sure. What should we have? Whiskey? Yeah, we need to rinse our neurons after what happened in the Mushroom Underlow City. Let's focus on our next investigation. Did you notice I said ours, Chief? Did you notice those 2 trippy girls in TNP, the ones that were chatting people up? They seemed strange, so I talked to them. It turned out they were recruiting people to a clan in a different game. It gets better. The clan believes in some crazy-ass stuff. They are obsessed with the number 314. I think it's a cult, so you see... He looked at me as he was waiting for questions. What's the deal with them and the number 314? It feels like I've heard something about it before. At first, I thought it was just a reference to the number pi. But there's more to it, Chief. I gotta say, it gives me the creeps. You know, it's like, whenever I see this number or hear anything about it, something happens. Don't fucking laugh at me. I'm not. Don't neglect it. You're feeling something, that's a fact. It might just be your emotions, but it might be something else too. Worth investigating, right? That's what I thought. 'Cause you know, Chief, I kind of believe that there might be something mystical going on here. It's like, when I see 314, I feel like there's a sign put there especially for me, like I was special. Strange, right? What if the clan knows I'm interested in them, and they reprogrammed my walktail and my lenses? Worth investigating. How did you become interested in them? During the game, you know, when I rage quit, those fucking trolls weren't the only thing I saw in the space rip. There was also a tree. I mean, that's what they were talking about, right? When I heard the clan worships a tree of knowing, I figured it might help me understand. I did some research online, and it turns out their sacred tree of knowing looks exactly like the one I saw during the game. That's my lead, Chief. My lead to finding the fuckers that ruined my career. What is the tree of knowing? I'm not sure yet, but I'm really interested in finding out. You see, that goddamn tree is what somebody used to destroy my career. They are never specific about the tree. It's some kind of an artifact. Apparently, it only appears once in a while. It's a big deal for them. They say the tree gives them truth and inspiration and sends them signals like... kinda seems like they get high a lot. Suspicious, eh? What do you know about the clan? They are called the Hon clan. Apparently Hon means book. It's their emblem, a book in front of a tree. They play MMOs, keep talking about meditation, observation and the stuff like that. Even more about fighting and territories. Even more than about fighting and territories. I mean, you know, Chief, when they fight for real. They know how to play. But as soon as those girls realized I had money, they told me I was special and that my spiritual path leads to the clan. Suspicious, eh? Has anybody hired you for this investigation? Not really, I'm just working on my own. You do know the Gamedecs get hired, discuss their remunitions with the client, and only began their investigations then, right? There's one exception. Well, the second exception. The first was harvest time. I hired myself to find out who killed my career. Somebody got to find the culprit. Are you in, Chief? Sure, whatever. Actually, the tree staff and the 314 is kind of interesting. You know, that's kind of spooky, because it has been mentioned a couple of times in an offhand, and there was this part where I could only say this when asked for a number. Like, it was like flooding my mind. Alright, this might be too difficult for you to handle on your own. Awesome. We'd be like good about team, but in Realium, and in all the other games in the world. Enough about the clan, Ken. You've done your first detective case. You should be proud of yourself, Ken. Chief, it was amazing. I felt like the king of the world. I think we should always work together. Ken finished talking before I managed to cut in. That's why we're a team. Together we're even more awesome than we are separate. What is it like to be an esports player? As in a good and bad player? Well, you need to be a bit of a masochist. When the pain is at 10, it's like being operated on without anesthesia. At 15, some players start tripping when the endorphins kick in. I can go as far as 19. It's hard to describe. Heaven, hell, both at once. They say Peter Crash Kites can go to 20 thanks to meditation and some other wizardry. Me? I feel like I like to feel everything. It turns me on. That's a bit insane. Like, you know, it's already like your sort of baseline level of masochism that that some people exhibit in BDSM can already be pretty strange to people. You know, getting whipped for fun, for example, or you know, things like blood play where people cut themselves. Most people wouldn't even understand this, but at this level, you know, 10 is being operated on without anesthesia, and he goes up to 19, which is probably a level of, well, not even probably, he says so verbatim, it's a level of pain that could drive you insane, and he's doing it for fun. I think it's a little insane. You're insane, Ken. Takes one to know one. Listen, I see this whole Gamedec thing really interests you. Would you like to hear more about the job? Sure, Chief, I'm all ears. I guess I'll listen too. Well, it has no benefits really. No pension, no vacation, no sick leave. When there's work, you make money. When there isn't, you starve. Sounds wonderful. That's because you're young. But sure, have a go at it. Just remember, I told what I told you because What seems wonderful at first might turn out to be completely different kind of wonder, but it's better to try and find out, I guess. Yeah, something like that. So, do you like my Bliss? Go on, ask her a question. Alright, Bliss, what's more real, matter or information? Matter is a catch-all term, describes an illusion. The reality is but an emanation of mathematical rules. Particles are mathematics, it's all information. Ken puts his hands around his head, widens his eyes, and pretends that his skull is exploding. She's brilliant. Let's have a drink. I'm not sure I can drive my new mobile after doing all of those drinks. Yeah, seeing how I met you like 2 days ago, I don't feel comfortable with you staying in my home, so Bliss can take an auto taxi for you. Good idea. I need to follow a certain clue tomorrow morning. I'll pick up the vehicle first thing. Can't finish talking before I manage to cut in. With every new day, a new challenge arrives. Ken wanted to meet and talk about the case. We hadn't discussed the time and place, though. Okay, but this episode has been way too long, and luckily for me, it has just saved because I've seen the icon. So I am going to end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.